Hey everybody, it's Big D here on Big D's Fig Farm. And got a few Stellas looking nice. Stellas are looking Stella. Yeah, they're looking good. They're nice roots on all three of those. Then there's a Hog Island. I think that's the Hog Island there, back in the corner. This is an Italian 258 with beautiful roots. I'm actually going to get a real Italian 258. That's a Celeste off of my tree up back, and then another Italian 258 here, looking good, buds popping everywhere. And then I wanted to share with you an experiment I did. So normally when I'm rooting a cutting is when you take a limb off of a tree and you try to start a new tree from it. One of the amazing things that figs can do is you can just take a limb and it becomes an entire tree. But normally what I do when I'm preparing a cutting for to root, they call it, I take the cutting, I scrape 3 sections on the outside of the cutting, and I paint it with a paintbrush, literally. Clonex root starter hormone or gel helps get the roots going, and then I put it in moist dirt and just let it sit, and it starts growing roots. But a few weeks ago I saw a video from a guy named Mike Kincaid who he did a little bit different. He scored it. He took the point of a knife and kind of went down them like this several places, but he put several of them in a pot after doing that and just said I wanted to see where the roots came from. And none of the roots came out of where he had scored it. They all came from other places, which he deduced, well, you don't need to score it. But I wanted to see the difference between what I do, which is scraping just down to the cambium layer. And so this one here, these both are Peter's Honey. I was cutting grass one day and knocked the limb off, so I cut a bunch of cuttings off of it. And so on September the 21st, as you can see here, I scraped this, treated it with a growth hormone, and put it in. You can see nice roots going. It's budding out up here. This is the one that I scraped like I normally do. This one, I did not scrape, and I don't see any roots on it at all, okay? You see it says there, no scrape. So it might still root or bloom or grow or root or whatever, but it hasn't yet. So it's obviously slower if you don't scrape. And of course, that's just one. So, I mean, I've not really got a huge sample database here. But it looks to me like the way I've been doing it, and somebody would say, well, you've been having a problem. No, I'm actually been having about 98% success rate by scraping, treating with a root starter, and then setting them here on a heat mat until they sprout out. You can see here, this one's got a little bit of growth. I don't know if you can see it or not. Just getting ready to start to sprout out there, a little green tip there. I haven't seen one on this one yet. Again, these are from my Celeste tree out back. This Stella, so I had 4 Stellas. This one never showed any roots, but it put green on. It's never a good sign. If you see green before you see roots, 9 times out of 10, that won't make it. It'll grow a little bit, and then it'll do just what it did there. The green will shrivel right up, fall right off, and the stick rots. On the other hand, also equally dangerous is if you have nice roots, like I have this I-258, decent roots growing everywhere, but there's no green coming out on it, no growth sprouting. And if it doesn't after a period of time, I've also found that those won't make it. They will die, the roots will die off. So what you're looking for ideally is roots and growth. That's a nice healthy cutting, it's growing good. That's what you're looking for. So anyway, thought I'd share that with you on how I do the cuttings. We're getting ready to move into that season over the winter. If I do like it, I'm not gonna do as much as I did last year, but I'll have a lot for the spring sales. But this is my grow room. I have them under here on the lights. I got to get ready to up pot them so that they can have more room to grow. And come time for next spring, they'll really be ready to get her done. Well, there you go. Rooting cuttings.